Alright. So as you know, Fortnite Season 7 brings a slew of new changes that really shake up the game and how it's meant to be played. You see a lot of tips and tricks videos, right? And you still suck? And you still suck? Maybe this one will help you, because this is the real how to get more wins in Season 7 tips and tricks guide. Oh baby, we are just getting started. Zip lines, you've seen them, right? Dangerous, but very convenient. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. One thing is that they can be very useful. Using them to your advantage, like gaining the higher ground on somebody from behind, is great. Escaping the storm and using this as a faster way to cover ground, great. Doing super awesome fast-moving tricks like this, great. But with every good thing, it has its micro penis. You are actually pretty vulnerable, with the only way of evading bullets is jumping, and how inconvenient is that? You do make noise while ziplining, and the only thing you can do really is jump in the other direction, or rift out of there with the rift to go, or use a grappler to get out of there. It's kind of limited what you can do on these things. So, you know, that's what I mean by a double-edged sword, if you know. Obviously, if you were to somehow fall off the zip line, you would die. When using zip lines, every situation is different, but always look to use it to your advantage. Don't be using it when you see other people around. Don't be using it as an escape method, because once you get on there, you are pretty much a big giant piece of meat floating in the sky, ready to be ate, ready to be seduced, ready to be gnawed on. Instead, use it more for transportation. Just know that every decision you make in this game has its effect, so use it sparingly, okay? Now, airplanes are the newest addition in the game and add a whole new layer to the battlefield. I mean, damn, you're flying in the air, and even when you get shot down, you do have a chance to glide out of there. Most of the time. With airplanes, you are covering a ton of ground, but at the cost of being a huge hunk of metal in the sky. How can these things be helpful to you if you're causing such a ruckus? Well, some players really don't know the effect that holding the bumper buttons do when turning. A lot of people seem to just steer left and right and end up getting bit in the ass. But if you use those bumper buttons when you're turning left or right, it allows you to get the better of your enemy. Another risky tip is actually doing a somersault. Now, I know, relax, don't freak out, okay? If you have a plane chasing behind you and you're high enough, try tilting down and coming back around by going under them to gain that advantage. Look, I know it's risky, okay? Tom Cruise, he's shivering in his boots, but you know, well, planes are useful, but only if you use them in the right way. Make the plane work for you, don't work for the plane. As fun as the frozen area of the map is to be in, it's probably not the best place to land. As with Season, the new biome / point of interest are always the hottest places to land, but they're always not the most reliable. Despite the amount of people you need to kill to make it out alive, you have to think about the materials and the severe lack of them. But if you insist, the best way to survive in that part of the map, more than ever this rule applies, just mine everything. You need every single piece of material you see. I'm talking everything. I'm talking bookcases, chairs, desks, dressers, everything that you can get your hands on in terms of wood. You're more likely to run into somebody early on, and if you have the materials to at least protect yourself or run or get the early advantage on them, you're really more likely to survive longer and possibly even win that sweet victory royal. Balloons actually got a really nice change this season, with stack size going from a gasp 20 to 10, which you might think, hey, that's not good. But if you really think about it, the amount of balloons you need for max height has gone from 5 to 3. So you only need 3 balloons to, you know, fly the hell out of there. With only 2 balloons, you can already have the higher ground by jumping above somebody. The balloons do make you pretty vulnerable still and prone to fall damage, so you're not really avoiding that, but it takes you less balloons to get to where you want to go. Especially if you are chasing the storm, you are going to want to use those to your advantage. If you're running and trying to beat the storm, you can use a shopping cart, ATK, ATV, airplane now, and even balloons, which weren't as reliable in terms of transportation in the past, but now you can. So make sure you're picking up balloons on the way to your storm, or if you need a faster way to get where you're going. One of the best and final ways you can maximize your chance of winning the game kind of relates to the frozen area and almost the lack of it in this tip. That area is so populated, no doubt, which means less people in the more loot heavy areas of the past are landing there, like Lazy Links, Salty Springs, Dusty Divot, John Wick. All these places can really benefit your survivability. Now, it is a slower approach to a victory royale, sure, but it does allow you to harvest materials and hunt for better weapons, all while avoiding the congestion of the new area. Of course, if the storm hates you and pushes you into the snowy area, you need to go, but for the time being, it's actually safer to stay out there and use the rest of the semi-vacant map to your advantage, and make sure you get everything before squashing those John Wick noobs. Now you may be asking yourself, Ralph, that's not enough tips, okay? I need more tips. Well, I'll go ahead and link you to some more tips right here. Subscribe, like the video. Make sure you check out the Twitch link down below. I'm going to be streaming there this week, so keep your eyes peeled there as well. And I will catch you guys in the next video.